Good morning, fellow readers. It's March 20th, and we're seeking to hear from God today in Deuteronomy 28 and 29. We know that Deuteronomy is Moses' review of all of God's law. He reminds Israel of God's greatness and calls them to obey him. Moses makes it clear that God seriously expects his people to now keep covenant with him. Yesterday in Deuteronomy 27, Moses spelled out the curses that result from disobeying and dishonoring God. Today in Deuteronomy 28, he explains the many blessings that will result from obedience. The choice to obey God will multiply his blessings in every area of their lives. He's not calling just for a behavior change that seeks to get something from God. Moses makes it clear that obedience is a heart choice, motivated by their love for God. We see that God will establish Israel as a holy people, set apart to himself. Of course, none of this is new. It's review. And God knows that we need review to truly know and begin to understand him. To actually learn anything, we've got to repeat it over and over again, whether it's a child learning how to read, or if it's us as adults, getting it in our minds clearly what we need to learn. If the people obey and keep God's commands, they will know his blessings. But if they disobey him, a myriad of curses will come on them, pursue them, and overtake them until they are destroyed, and there will be nothing they can do. In 28:47, Moses gives a prophecy of what will happen when God's people turn away and disobey him. Israel will be overtaken by other nations. They will live in misery with plagues, no rest, no peace, living in slavery, all because they did not keep God's law to reverence and honor him. In Deuteronomy 29, Moses reminds them of all the ways God has faithfully provided for them. They've seen his faithfulness. Now it's time for everyone, young and old, to enter into covenant with God. Keeping covenant will bring prosperity in all they do. Forsaking or disobeying covenant will bring God's anger, curses, and wrath. We do know that God will keep his word to them. They will always be his chosen people. He will keep his promise to resend a redeemer. But Israel's behavior and their heart desire to either worship him or forsake him will determine whether they also receive his blessings or his curses. It can be easy today to minimize disobedience or be angry with unexpected consequences of our choices. But we need to remember that God does not change. He's made it very clear. He is love, he is just, and he is holy. He makes it clear that those who are his are to live holy, set apart to him, recognizing his love and responding to him with obedience, love, and worship. Jesus affirmed in the Gospel of John that if we love him, we will keep his commands, and they are not burdensome. Today, I saw that God's faithfulness is rooted in who he is, not how we relate to him. He does not change. That gives me assurance to trust him more. By the way, have you checked out the Set Sail family devotions for March? I found some helpful cross-references about God's requirements of kings or of their leaders. For me to know what God expects of leaders enables me to pray more specifically for those in leadership. I hope you are encouraged as we continue to discover more about who God is. He is our faithful and covenant-keeping God. And what an assurance in the midst of a world that is changing daily in the midst of all the pulls to not listen to him or to not obey him. And yet I can know for certain that he is my rock. He is never going to change. He is faithful. We'll see you tomorrow.